In my previous video, I talked about VY2, a Vocaloid with a great voice bank, but also a Vocaloid that was hardly advertised or promoted, and it got me thinking about Utatane Pico. Pico was released in December 2010 by Sony, and when I was first doing my research for his segment, I was impressed with his voice bank. I thought he was going to be a big player going forward because I found his voice to be very similar to Len's, and since Pico's voice provider was male, it had a more natural quality to it, which I assumed would equate to success. Unfortunately for Pico, it didn't really turn out that way. Where Sony fumbled badly was in promoting Pico. In short, they didn't promote him at all. As for the VY series, Yamaha is the developer of the Vocaloid engine, and they and their affiliate companies have published several successful Vocaloids, which leads me to believe that Yamaha made a conscious decision to not heavily promote VY1 and VY2, and I think it has to do with the VY series being marketed as professional voice banks. I imagine Yamaha wanted to separate the VY series from the fandom at large and give them a more serious and business-like appeal, which is a fine concept, but I do think it's a shame that they haven't had more success given their quality. Believe it or not, this all does relate to my main discussion for this video, which is about the Vocaloid MAYU, who was released December 5th, 2012. Clearly, MAYU is a Vocaloid that was developed for the fandom. She is a teenage, female, Japanese vocalist with a character design meant to attract attention. But MAYU has done pretty well for herself in her first year, and most of that success is a result of the massive promotion she received prior to her release. AtH was giving her pre-release voice bank to as many talented producers as they could find, and an entire 2-CD music album consisting of 33 songs was created specifically to be included with her voice bank. And that is in addition to the promotional artwork, advertisements, magazine articles, and voice bank demos released all through the second half of 2012. Very few Vocaloids received this level of promotion, and AtH's core business of selling music albums made them experts in this kind of situation. Despite having what I would consider to be an average or typical voice bank, MAYU became very popular in the months leading up to her release, and she has maintained a notable following in the past year. For a little while, she was the second most popular Vocaloid 3 voice bank, following AtH. It just goes to show you how critical good promotion can be. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying MAYU's voice bank is low quality, but MAYU's popularity has dipped as the excitement and hype over her release waned. But MAYU's voice does have some positive attributes. In its lower range, it sounds very good before any tuning, and MAYU's voice has been described as being naturally expressive, meaning that beginning Vocaloid producers can achieve good results with MAYU from the get-go. That may explain why MAYU continues to be fairly popular. I personally feel that her voice doesn't stand out very well, it's a bit on the generic side, but it has good range and flexibility, and it doesn't seem to have any obvious or major flaws. MAYU is also one of the least expensive Vocaloid 3 voice banks, at only around $80 as a digital download. That certainly doesn't hurt her popularity. MAYU's voice provider is still unknown. She hasn't been revealed at this point, and I don't have anything else to say about MAYU's character itself, but I did learn something comical about her little rabbit friend. In addition to her hatchet or axe, MAYU usually carries a rabbit doll with her, which acts as a microphone for her. MAYU is said to tightly grip its throat when singing into it. The doll is known as Usano Mimi. What's interesting about this doll is that it was shown off on April Fool's Day 2012, at least a month before MAYU was ever announced. AtH spoofed the layout of Krypton Future Media's website design and used a picture of Mimi to announce a new kind of Vocaloid, Animaloids, singing animals. As silly as it is, considering the way Japan is, I do have to wonder if a cat Vocaloid might actually be a success.
夏の恋に飛び込んでゆらゆら揺れる心の波間に流れ着いたあなたがいた熱くなるその気持ち手のひらから伝わる熱私だけじゃないよねキラキラあなたが眩しくていつから恋が始まったの正しい話のまま駆け抜けてゆく朝まで続く画面日記も今日も適当な相槌もネタがなくてどうせすぐ飽きちゃうのに腹にのゲームの発見で大寄付をしてるんだなんていう言い訳さえ何度目だろそれを聞くのほらまた今日も繰り返しね誰か僕の声を聞いてよこんなずれた世界の中でそんと遠くの感情も真相にの感情も恋話も君の顔はキラキラよ誰かが笑い物にした赤い前のこと手を離せば落ちる赤いリンゴと同じハッピーエンド運命なんだけどみんなに話したって多分わからないのずっとあなたの道の付きまとい影を踏みながら歩いてそうとツイートしてたあなたの赤で愛していますアノニマスもしかして女なのなんで男なの心を開いて待つことも開く愛しくて放課後教室二人きり頭ごちゃごちゃになっちゃって急に差したり首を絞めたら大事件だね特別なあなたの目の前でかすかに震えてるの愛しい世界に揺れるオレンジの光素直に喋りたい素直に喋りたいのにね時間切れの合図が鳴り響くからなんでもないずっとちやほやされていたどうやら僕には奇跡が舞い降りたようで鎧をさ床のほろほろにホーミング狂っちゃって村上メスは隠しですああ愉快だな遊びでこんな人生逆転雑アイドルわがままに踊るそれに気づかず檻の中で楽しい到着つまみくしてまとせあらけあらけあらららら人生ゲーム感覚放火しちゃって僕はすごい楽しい花火と感じ悪いねそれでうるされる大丈夫でも嵐の迷路が電車をかすめて窓越しの世界を斜めにぼかした風に煽られてやがて羽ばたいた雫は光をそこに閉じ込めた揺らぐ水たまりをそっと覗き込んでみる段差を刺したまま長靴で飛び跳ねていた面影が明かりのほろぼくめきが 다른 여자랑 말도 섞지만 난 니꺼